You know how she is?
The grapevine certainly moves fast. No, I haven't heard yet.
Well, some of us thought we'd like to chip in out of our pay and maybe send her some flowers.
Well, let me have the names and the amount you want to spend.
It's real beaut you're letting us do something for Mum, Mrs. Davidson.
How are you feeling now, Doreen?
Oh, okay.
I think we better order some more sheets. These are getting a bit thin.
Mrs. Davidson, I was wondering if I could be shifted out of the laundry.
I've already suggested that to you, Doreen.
Yeah, but, you know.
Well, report to cook. I'm sure she can find something for you to do.
Oh, thanks.
You wanted to work in the laundry, McNally? I suggest you do some. You can take over from Doreen.
What did I tell you? All screws are alike.
Hey, Bea, what do you reckon's going on? I mean, the governor hasn't had an inspection like this since God knows when.
Search me. She's probably expecting a visit from a VIP. Yeah, tell you what, I don't reckon old Vera's lagged on Mrs. Jackson.
Or even if she has, the governor wouldn't be too hard on her. I mean, she and Mum were always great friends.
Oh, I don't know, Lizzie. Mum's still an ex-crim, and rules are rules.
The most difficult thing is finding a suitable house manager. It'd have to be someone who understands the women's problems, but she'd also have to be a good administrator.
I take it once it's running smoothly, you won't be as heavily involved.
Well, I'll remain on as director, and I'll be on call. But I still have my law firm to answer to. And the house manager is a full-time position.
Look, I must be getting back to Wentworth. Thanks for the coffee.
Oh, look, any time.
Goodbye, Karen.
Bye. I'll see you at the next committee meeting, huh?
Fine. I'll see myself out. Bye-bye.
Angela?
Mm-hmm.
I could manage the house. I know I could handle it.
Well, as a matter of fact, I've had you in mind. But I don't think it's a very good idea.
Why?
Well, it has to be someone who understands the women's problems. You understand the women's problems, but you also have to care. Why didn't you tell me about this Mum person?
Well, I didn't think it had anything to do with you.
Well, it has a lot to do with what I don't want in the person running the halfway house.
That's not fair.
Isn't it? She's an ex-prisoner. She needed your help. You were in a position to help, and you didn't even try.
I'm not supposed to consort with an ex-prisoner. It's against the conditions of my parole.
Well, you could have got permission, but you didn't even try. Look, all you've proven to me so far is that you're irresponsible and insensitive. Karen, you're going to have to pull yourself together. Otherwise, you're just going to be like you were when you first came out of Wentworth.
Well, maybe that's where I belong.
Oh, don't pull that self-pity stuff with me. People can only help you 50% of the way. You are going to have to cope with that other 50%. Otherwise, you're no good to yourself or anybody else. You want to be trusted? Then you damn well earn it.
These can go into storage. They're over 4 years old.
Do you really think Mrs. Davidson will go ahead with her resignation?
I can't see why she'd want to change her mind.
Oh, well, I think it's a shame. She's beaut.
There are plenty who could run this place just as well, if not better.
They'd probably be bitches to work for.
These can go in too. Wait here.
She wants to see McNally.
Tell Mrs. Davidson she wants to vet all McNally's visitors.
Right.
You'll have to be searched. Put your bag there and go behind the screen.
Why?
Governor's orders. And if you want to visit McNally, you better do as you're told.
Splendid. Look, Vera, about Meg being at Mum's place.
She knows she's not supposed to see ex-prisoners. It was a stupid thing to do.
If it's not too late, I'd be grateful if you didn't say anything to Erica.
How I do my job is my business.
Oh, come off it, Vera. She's been a pretty good friend to you.
You don't give me much credit, do you?
Does everybody have to go through this?
Just McNally's visitors.
You must think she's rather dangerous.
We have our reasons.
And you say you are related to Antonia McNally?
I'm her niece.
You haven't visited her before.
No, well, I've been away at boarding school. We've just broken up for the holidays.
Are your parents in Melbourne?
Yes.
Do they know you're here?
Aunt Antonia and my mother were very close. Do you think she killed that woman?
I am not in a position to judge that.
Well, then why all these questions and everything?
It's just a matter of security.
When's her trial?
I think you had better ask her that. Would you mind waiting outside for a moment? Do you believe her?
I can't place a girl like that with McNally, if that's what you mean.
Yes.
But she didn't bring any contraband in.
Very well. Keep an eye on things. I don't want any messages going out either.
We thought it was about time for your cuppa, Mrs. Davidson.
Thank you, Doreen. I could do with a cup of tea.
Cook made these this morning. They're real yummy. She let me try one.
She's certainly given me plenty.
Yeah, well, I kind of nicked a few more for you.
Well, I wouldn't want to hurt Cook's feelings. Perhaps you could help me out.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mrs. Davidson. You know, you're the nicest governor this place could ever have. Everyone reckons that. Even Bea thinks you're okay. Want to know why?
Pardon?
'Cause you're real nice to us. Even when you're being tough, you only do that 'cause you have to. And you don't talk down to us, not like that old Miss Bennett.
Excuse me, Doreen, but I do have some work to do.
I'll wait for the tray if you like.
You can get it later.
I don't mind, honest.
Later, Doreen.
Okay, Mrs. Davidson. Oh, thanks for the cake.
Hello.
My name's Rosalind. I lied about the surname so I could get in to see you. But it's Colson. Does that ring a bell? We've never met, but I think you knew my mother. She was the woman you murdered.
Get me out of here.
Don't you want to hear what I've got to say?
Listen, love. Why would I want to kill your mother? I didn't even know her.
I've got proof you did.
Come on, McNally.
What proof?
If you're staying, sit down.
My mother rang me about a week before you killed her. She said she was afraid. She said she was coming up to Sydney to get away from you.
Why would she want to say that?
Because she was seeing a man called Sean McNally. Your husband? And that's why you murdered her, isn't it? Jealousy.
Did she ever write to you about that?
No, but that's what she meant when she phoned me. She was scared of you.
You know what hearsay means? Wouldn't stand up in court for 2 seconds, love.
I'm going to the police. They'll believe me.
Want a bet? I've heard enough. Sorry about your mother, love.
You murderer.
Come on, McNally, move.
Excuse me. Is that true? It's not enough proof?
You'll have to ask the police that. It was a silly thing to do, coming here.
I wanted to see what she looked like. I know she's guilty. She's got to be punished.
I'll send an officer to show you back to reception.
Those showers could do with an overhaul. You better organise a plumber, Mrs. Barry.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
And the recreation room is a mess. Those women will have to keep it in better order.
Right.
Oh, Mrs. Davidson, I thought this might make your office look good.
Aren't you supposed to be in the kitchen, Doreen?
Oh, yeah, but Cook wanted some veggies from the garden.
Well, not now. I'm too busy.
I can put it in your office for you if you
Wait
like.
until later.
I wouldn't pinch nothing.
Oh, Dr. Miller, Miss Bennett told me about Mum. Have you had any further news?
Well, her condition's stabilized, which is a promising sign.
Oh, that's good.
I knew you wouldn't take Miss Bennett's side.
What are you talking about?
Well, Miss Bennett telling you about Mrs. Jackson being at Mum's. We reckoned you wouldn't be hard on her or anything.
Mrs. Barry, ask Mrs. Jackson and Miss Bennett to come to my office. I would like to see you also, Doctor. Not only have you seen fit to involve yourselves in a game of subterfuge, but I also find the entire prison knows. I will not be made a laughingstock by the senior members of my staff. I haven't much longer before my resignation takes effect, but until that time, I am still the governor. If I cannot rely on my staff to follow the rules, then I've just been wasting my time. You could quite easily be dismissed, Mrs. Jackson.
She was very ill. I only wanted to see she was all right.
You don't expect me to believe this was the first and only visit, do you?
No.
And as for you, Miss Bennett, You're always so concerned about regulations. Why didn't you report this immediately? Or were you deliberately setting out to undermine my authority?
I didn't think it was that important.
I'm disappointed in all of you. You may go.
Could I have a word with you, Mrs. Davidson?